Hey, Eric, did you know that people who enjoy this podcast can support us?
I did know that. I helped make this podcast.
Oh, you did? Well, if you didn't know, you could go to patreon.com/retroim to find out more. You could find out special benefits like early access. Would you like early access to this podcast?
Yeah, it's all on a Dropbox server I have.
Oh, well, most people can't get that. But if they go to patreon.com and give us $1, they could. Now, would you like to hear some hot sounds that I have recorded? Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast about Xenogears. On this podcast, we'll attempt to reconstruct the pile of emotional shards created when this video game came into our lives, roughly 21 years ago. My name is Chris. Hey Eric, how are you doing on this fine day in the year 2020?
I'm well, Chris. The shards have stabbed you and are bleeding into your lifeblood. For me, it's more like fragments that have shattered like glass and have gone into my face as if I were in a car accident.
Oh, ouch. Aren't shards a thing in Takahashi's game? Aren't there a lot of breaking shard screens in like Xenoblade and all that kind of stuff?
The screen does break apart, doesn't it? Into shards?
I don't know. I mean, in the battle sequences in this game it does, but I think that it does in some of his other games too. I think it's a theme. More on that later, I guess.
The save tomes are very similar.
Are they?
Lots of crystals.
Do you know that we are bound by the dark, cruel destiny of a god to probably do another Xeno podcast after this?
Yeah, I know that.
Because it's
inevitable.
We're going to put it up to our listeners to decide this for us. And I think most of our listeners are people in the sort of Xeno community.
Sure.
So I kind of feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah, if not next, it is an inevitability to do at some point. And it's funny, I was thinking, I just had a content idea that we can maybe save for later, but if you pre-ordered Xenosaga Part 2, you got a DVD of the original Xenosaga's cutscenes.
Oh, yeah.
We did a live commentary for that and recorded it.
Oh.
A 4-hour commentary.
Oh, man. I'll do that for charity.
Yeah.
Or content. I'll do anything for content,
yeah.
Eric. So, we've spent some time with some men.
Of the sea.
Of the sea, indeed. We've learned about their code.
We've played their music.
Yeah, their music's pretty good.
Which is also our music.
It is. So, at this point, a battle is about to ensue, right? Faye is rushing off to get in his gear that the men of the sea have
restored
for
repaired?
Free.
Yeah.
And
nothing's free, Chris.
Well, you're right. Nothing is free. But for the purposes of this conversation, they restored it for free. It did not cost us any G to restore. And he's ready to go help Bart. So as you leave... Wait, who's attacking Bart?
We don't know, but this chapter is called Friends Again.
Oh, that's a weird chapter name.
Xenogears Xenosaga Study Guide Reunion.
I like Reunion better.
Yeah, Reunion's more ominous.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily imply it's going to be friends.
Friends Again sounds like we were enemies at one point.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Last time we met, we weren't enemies, though, so
yeah.
We'll see. So we have a very uncool launch sequence here where the gears are pulled to the deck of the Thames and the track Fuse starts playing at this point.
Hoisted.
Yeah, they're definitely hoisted to the deck, but we don't get any... Remember the cool launch sequence when Faye was going off during the recapture Ave sequence?
Yeah, Men of the Sea aren't going to have some excellent Solarian Nordtune gear tech. This is a giant crane that's going to just yank your shit up from wherever it's hiding out below.
We're also using the 2D sprite versions of the gears to like launch off the bitmap of the sea.
Yeah.
And...
budget cuts, man.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. There's no time for any sort of CG or FMV right here. We haven't had any anime in a long time, by the way.
Yeah, we're not going to either.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. The last anime I think was
The Forest.
No, it was Groff.
Oh yeah,
the Dream After Groff, I think, was the last one.
Kung Fu Man.
Yeah, who we think is probably Khan.
Yep.
Anyway, so we hoist off, we launch off, we hoist off. Whatever. We're going to rescue Bart and friends. Because the Yggdrasil is under attack, we think probably by Dominia and Kilvana, because they were plotting this a few moments ago. And Rico and Seitan are prepared to
flashes
fight.
over to the Yggdrasil too.
Yes.
Our point of view goes to our other friends.
Rico and Seitan are standing on top of the sub in their gears, getting ready to fight.
Seitan notes that our gears can handle underwater warfare, which is comforting.
Sure, yeah, it's good to know that. Rico also makes a reference to Swiss cheese.
What?
Rico says something about Swiss cheese at this point.
Do they have Swiss cheese here?
Do they have Switzerland here?
That's cool. Even better question. Pull out top level.
Because,
Damn it.
sometimes,
Do they have Switzerland here?
you have to really, you have to dissect your idioms before you use them.
Yeah.
And, I've learned this through not only from playing Japanese role-playing games, but also having friends who have like English as a second language. Like before you use an idiom, you have to think about what you're going to say because they may be like, what, huh? And this is one of those moments because Rico should not be talking about Swiss cheese because I haven't checked to see if Swiss cheese is from Switzerland, but I'm assuming that it is.
It almost has to be, right?
Yeah.
We'll consult the fake net on that one.
Initializing fake net.
Swiss cheese is a generic name in North America for several related varieties of cheese, mainly of North American manufacture, which resemble Emmental cheese, a yellow medium hard cheese that originated in the area around Emmental in Switzerland.
But it has something. He says something about it. About we're gonna turn them into Swiss cheese, or they're gonna turn us into Swiss cheese, or something of that nature. It's weird. I guess Rico's Swiss, or he's been there.
I imagine in the localization process, someone said Swiss cheese, and then someone just looked up and like made eye contact, and then like just go with it.
Sure, why not, guys?
I'm not gonna fucking change it.
Yeah.
Just keep it.
It was a beast of a task to localize this game.
So then Bart descends to fight this thing first, right?
Yeah, he's in, and he's already gone off, and he tells or he has told Rico and Seitan to stay up there. And Faye and Ellie, once they arrive on top of the Yggdrasil, they have a brief reunion, but they dive right into the ocean.
Yes, they're immediately like, hey guys, what's up? There's a lot of people coming in at just the right time to save other people in Xenogears.
Yeah, I mean, that trope is, I won't say overused, but it's just used a lot in fiction in general, but especially in anime.
It's dramatic. It's nice.
Yeah, dramatic entrances at the last moment is something that it tends to work.
Yeah.
And in this case, it tends to work because Bart is under the water, battling with this submarine shark scorpion tail thing
It's called Haishao.
Haishao, and Faye and Ellie show up, and Dominia is pissed.
She's surprised to find Ellie there.
Elliam, what are you doing here? She also says that it is our divine duty to rule those crass land-dwelling lambs.
And to kill them.
Yes. I don't know.
She has more interesting dialogue. She's talking to Ellie and says, look at what you've gained as an element, Ellie. Why do you ever question? Which, this is I didn't know Ellie was an element. I guess since she could use air odds, that was assumed. But I don't know if it was ever explicitly said that she was an element before.
I wonder if that is a miss on the translation's point of view.
I mean,
because I think we do have 4 elements that we encounter later. But I remember back when Ellie was still in charge of the Proud Boy squad, that they commented that only element class level people were able to use the air odds. So maybe she has the ability to join the elements, but maybe necessarily hasn't been promoted to that level yet. That's my read on it, at least. Ellie says, how are they different than us, shepherds, the able?
Shepherd.
And we've seen the term shepherds, the able a lot throughout this game, but this is the first time we've heard it since we've heard the term Cain, and we know who Cain is.
And it's merging shepherd and able as being the same thing, right?
Yeah, I think able is maybe a term for shepherd. I think that's the way I'm reading her dialogue here. And can we extrapolate this for a second?
Sure.
We know that the emperor's name is Cain.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Cain is a biblical character who had a brother named Abel. Cain killed Abel.
Right.
The shepherds, in other words, those who are not the lambs, are called the able. Are the able the descendants of Abel? Can I read it that way? Because I have read the Bible.
I'm pleading the fifth on this one.
Okay. I don't know. Like I
think that could reveal some spoilerish stuff.
I'm doing my best to interpret this game in a linear fashion using only the distant memories of 20 years ago. But that's the way I'm reading it now, whereas the descendants of Cain and Abel maybe have something to do with those of the Solarians, etc.
If you want to extrapolate some more biblical knowledge, Cain had 8 sons.
Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. Dominia says that lambs and Abel are the same. The only definite difference is personal ability. The ignorant must be led by the wise. That is our job. So I guess she's saying that the lambs and the Abel are of the same lineage, but the lambs suck ass and they're not as good as fighting as we are. Is that what she's saying here?
Like apparently it got bisected at some point.
I guess. I don't know. It's very strange because I think that we know that Dominia is not... She wasn't born a Solarian.
No, she wasn't born human either. Once Dominia notices Faye, her evaluation of Ellie shifts a little bit. Do you have her dialogue there?
I know that she calls him a mongrel, which I like that term.
She says, how amusing, Eliam. She always calls Ellie Eliam.
Yeah.
She says, all of this for a man. I guess that story was true after all. You were born of those lowly lambs. Ooh. Now, this story, I don't know if she's referencing some stuff that has to do with destiny or the story of Ellie taking off and ditching the Proud Boys for the boy that beat the shit out of the Proud Boys, like if that's the story that she's been told. After that, she calls her a mongrel and says, are you going to use the power you used in that incident?
That incident was maybe Lahan, or maybe something else that we haven't
I don't know if she's talking to Faye or Ellie on that one. Dominia doesn't seem to address Faye directly.
We know that Ellie had an incident, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
The incident where
the hallway.
The drive incident.
The Metal Gear hallway.
Yeah. To expound upon that, I guess when they were experimenting with the drive on Ellie, that she went wild and I guess murdered a bunch of people in the hallway.
There were some anime flashbacks.
Splattered blood everywhere, yeah.
When Ellie addresses Dominia, she also refers to her as you Gebler, which I think solidifies that Ellie is Team Us now.
Yeah. Team Faye.
Team Faye.
Team Us. Go, Ellie.
Is there anything else for the dialogue, or do you have when we actually fight this fucking thing?
At that point, we get to the battle versus the Haishao.
In Dominia, it has 2,800 hit points.
Not very many hit points.
It has a move that it borrows from Calamity called Nereid Cyclone, where it shoots off electrical arms that it just power punches you with.
What was the first thing you did in this battle?
Boost.
Wild Smile, bitch.
Oh, really? I forgot about Wild Smile.
Yeah, I used Wild Smile at first.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was the first thing I did with Bart because I miss Bart. I love Bart. I think Bart's my favorite character at this point in the game.
I've tried to be more strategic this time because usually I'm just a brute strength person, but I'm going to try to make better use of elemental and status effects.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny. This is our first underwater battle, and the sounds are actually kind of muted a little bit.
Yeah, they're kind of like echoey or like sound like they have to get through the thickness of the water.
They're definitely filtered through something which makes it different. So yeah, I think I went through 2 rounds of this battle, and then it just, you don't necessarily defeat it. Sigurd buzzes in and says there's some depth charges ready, and then the battle ends once those are ready, or once, I guess, they're ready once you take off 2,800 HP. Yeah,
Sigurd comes in with the Yggdrasil and drops a bunch of charges to sort of end the battle.
He comes in at 60 frames a second too, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I guess it's because we're in the battle sequence now.
Yeah.
Friend Cadmoni also pointed out to me that this is the point in which Bart gets that special ability to use in his gear. So the next time that you have the ability to use Bart in the Brigandier, you can go up to the special options in the menu and use the Yggdrasil charges as one of your...
Oh, it becomes a move.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. So...
it's his limit break that dropped the high wind bombs.
The narrative sort of unlocked the ability in this case, which is an interesting way to roll out abilities rather than explicitly leveling them up.
I like that. That's sensitive. So the Haishao gets dusted and Kelvana makes her pull out.
Yeah, but before she does, she yoinks Ellie in the Vierge.
Hits her.
Yeah.
And she screams. Is it like I've got one more trick left up my sleeve?
Yeah.
She snatches Ellie, man. This kind of goes over nonchalantly with everybody.
Yeah, I got the same reading on this. I was like,
Sidon, I think like Faye's talking to Bart about it, then Sidon's like, don't worry about it, stop bickering.
Yeah,
Bart's like, dude, they just took my girlfriend.
Bart tells him not to worry about it.
Don't worry about it. She's going to come back later. Aren't you following the plot?
This scene may have read a little bit smoother if Bart would have been like, Ellie is a fully competent and capable soldier. She's going to be fine.
But Bart has like a constant mistrust of Ellie, right?
That's true too, yes.
Maybe he just thought she's going back home.
Yeah.
It's like, Faye, you're better off without her, man. Don't even worry about it. You got me now. You got me, Faye. I'm back, Faye.
It feels like Faye has the right to be upset here, but Sidon and Bart are not letting him be upset.
Yeah, weird.
I mean, this is not a good way to be a friend or a mentor or whatever the hell Sidon is to Faye.
I also have a note that Rico has some dialogue that indicates he already knows what the Thames is. He's like, oh yeah, the Thames. Sure.
Sure, why not? I mean, it's weird because he's been in jail for 20 years or whatever.
Right.
What's Rico's age?
Good question. We'll ask the fake nut.
Okay.
My guess is 30s.
Initializing fake net.
Ricardo Banderas is 30 years old.
Thank you, fake net.
I am so tired.
Once the Yggdrasil docks,
We're back on the Yggdrasil.
yeah, it docks at the Thames.
Gets us all
Thames.
fucked up.
Yeah. Faye and Bart kind of have a moment, and Bart is upset with himself because he didn't prioritize the depth charges. Instead, he prioritized the Bart missiles.
Bart missile again.
Yeah.
Which,
I guess this had to do with like restoring the Yggdrasil, right?
and they're still writing this plot line that I didn't remember at all when I played this game about the knowledge that Bart shot them down is revealed to each other party member individually. Like it's going to be a big thing and kind of concealed until the last possible moment.
Yeah.
And Bart being obsessed with these missiles he named after himself. That we later find out that this sub was found at the bottom of the sea with a bunch of Shavat technology all around it, which I guess included some of these missiles.
Yeah, because at this point, Bart says that after they got owned by the Red Gear in the
Red Gear
desert,
smoked him.
they fell into a sinkhole again.
Yeah, or a cave, or part of the stalactite cave.
And an identical Yggdrasil was there.
Yeah.
That's quite a thing.
I think Old Man Ball had to know about this shit too, right?
For sure. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely knew that
Balthazar
shit was down there.
definitely knew it was down there. And Citan says that the Yggdrasil 2 was probably the prototype.
Yeah.
So they kind of took the guts of what they had before and kind of amalgamated the ship, and now they have one that can go in the water, I guess. The weapons are probably from Shavat, which we have talked about previously.
Which is interesting because I picture Shavat and Solaris without knowing a lot about either of them as locked in like a Cold War stalemate type thing, like a mutually assured destruction type deal.
That seems to be the direction that we're heading. Did you talk to Sigurd after you regained control of your characters at this point?
No, whenever I get to the Yggdrasil, let's go to the doctor immediately now. But what did Sigurd say?
He said, "Young master, you shouldn't play pranks in an unknown land," which doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No.
But I like it.
That's Bart. That's advice Bart could use.
That's advice anybody could use.
Yeah, don't play pranks in an unknown land.
Remember when the one of the Ball brothers got arrested in China for shoplifting? Yeah. I mean, that's the same kind of thing. Don't do things in a foreign land, or you might be subject to their laws.
When I was in Japan, I did the peace sign the wrong way, which means something entirely different. In a classroom photo with a lot of children.
Oh, okay. Well, that maybe wasn't a good choice, Eric.
Nope. Hey, you learn these things afterward, right?
You're in a completely different country now, so you're fine. They can't arrest you for that.
So, did you talk to anybody else? We're given free reign over the Yggdrasil to prance about now. Did you do any touring?
Yeah, a guy on the bridge is like, a chart. I need to go buy a chart.
Yeah, he needs his chart.
He needs a fucking chart.
He's got to go map something.
Like, okay,
maybe he's like, since they're in new parts of the water, this is their cartographer, and he's mapping the seabed, and he has to put the Thames on there.
Maybe so.
He's never seen this shit before. Because they've been sand pirates, right? Now they're water pirates.
Yeah, true.
Pirate on pirate. High percentage of pirates in Xenogears.
Everyone's a pirate here.
Did you speak with the doctor?
Yeah, my weight is good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, congratulations.
My weight's doing great.
Didn't ask her anything?
No.
She told me when you get hurt, don't soak yourself in seawater. Come here right away.
Oh, that's good advice.
Yeah.
Right?
My guess is she's been talking to seamen on the Thames, and that is their solution for when they get hurt is to go to a saltwater hot tub or just jump overboard for 20 minutes and let the salt, I don't know.
Well, considering that their doctor just basically tells you to get the fuck out of here unless you're drunk or a bully, then get out of here.
Although I guess since she says seawater, that confirms that the ocean is salinated in this kingdom.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Did you try and see Choo Choo?
I did, and don't you come in here.
Don't you come in here. I'm changing.
Isn't Choo Choo nude?
Yeah, it doesn't wear clothes. So I like how Margie at this point is just fucked off. Like, she was this big plot point, sister of Nisan, restored to the throne, Mary Bart, all that shit. And she comes back in a little bit from now, but it's like, shouldn't we at least check in here?
This is the second time I've tried to check in on Margie, and I can't find her. I'm getting worried about her.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Bart, what about your girl? I mean, isn't she important? Fatima Jasper, remember that? We haven't heard about Fatima Jasper in a really long time.
Yeah. I went down in the basement and found Rico and Hammer there. I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot about you, Hammer. Yeah. Shit, you came with me.
I forgot about Hammer, too.
Oh, man. Like, I kind of knew Rico was still there, but...
Rico, Hammer, in the same room. What are you guys doing in here, guys?
What are you doing?
What are you guys doing?
We've got extra rooms.
Yeah, there's plenty of rooms.
Did they make you all do this?
A lot of people died. And so there's plenty of bunks and there's plenty of beds around here.
Or maybe like Hammer's Rico's +1 where he's like, yeah, he can fucking come, but he's staying with you, dude.
Yeah.
We're not going to clean up after, like, both of you guys smell real bad all the time.
Hammer has never heard of the Thames. And I'm like, well, that's because you've been in jail your whole life. So I don't know what to tell you, man.
I think Hammer could thrive on the Thames.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, I mean, 75% of the people on the Thames are drunk at all times. So his swindling abilities will be increased by like a factor of 5.
Yeah.
He could easily rip
Manipulate all these fuckers.
Yeah.
He'd be selling you the giant gun next time he got on if you got there.
Yeah, he would, for sure. I read somewhere too, and I don't know where I read this at, so I can't link it in the show notes yet, but maybe I will later. But I read that there was going to be a mechanic in the game to where your weight mattered in like swimming or something.
Yeah, I feel like I've read that somewhere as well, which is why you can have the doctor explain it to you all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I'm sure that was dropped, but elements of it, I mean, that happens in the games all the time, right? Where like parts are cut, but references are still in there either visually or mechanically.
I just thought it was funny. So at that point, I got on the screw elevator.
Yeah, Bart and Faye talk Nisan shop in there.
It's incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't really get most of it.
It's all about protecting Margie from Chicon, but there's a lot more dialogue in this sequence that there probably needed to be.
They're just like, catching up with where they're at.
It feels rushed.
Although that is a hint that we're not entirely done with Chicon yet. Like he's been relegated to a sideshow, but he's not out of the picture yet.
Yeah, that's true. I thought that maybe Chicon we were done with him. We already know he's a puppet leader, but I guess we're gonna have to go back and beat his ass at some point. Maybe.
Absolutely.
So we get to meet the captain, and the captain and Bart, they hit it off.
Yes, pirate meets pirate.
Yes.
Sand pirate, sea pirate, they are men of the sea.
Yeah.
And the sand. I think Bart actually says we used to be men of the sand, never men of the sea.
Bart is a strapping young lad, according to the captain.
Hell yes.
He loves how strapping Bart is.
Good description.
Yes.
Do you think Bart wears suspenders?
Do I think he wears suspenders? No, because he wears his pants so tight that he doesn't need to.
He definitely has skin-tight white pants.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my read on it, at least.
I pictured, you ever watch American Gladiators?
I have, yes.
Have I talked about how Bart is basically Malibu?
No, but I can see that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Is Malibu good-natured? I mean, he's an American Gladiator, so...
He was definitely the dumbest one.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's a great quote from him I hope that I can find in the editing process.
Okay, great.
Well, dude, it's like this. I saw this guy coming, and I took the most excellent hit of my life. The next thing I knew, I was on the beach, taking in some cosmic rays, getting healed by Mother Nature, taking a little brewski, holding on to a beautiful babe, and I'm fine today.
Then Margie comes. Hey, Margie.
Yeah, Margie shows up, and it plays Singing of the Gentle Wind.
Yes, it's the first time we've heard this track in a while.
It is the Nisan walk-around music.
Yes, definitely, you're right. Margie, she comes in, and my first thought was, is Margie hiding anything underneath her hat?
Yeah.
I love Margie's hat.
It's a big goddamn hat.
Yeah, it's a giant hat. She tries to say some stuff, and Bart's like, the men are talking now. Run along, little girl.
Yeah, casual chauvinism.
Yeah, which takes Bart down a couple of notches here, but, I still favor Bart, but,
He's a product of his environment.
He is true, yes. He's been on the internet way too much. But Margie does call Bart on his shit a little bit here, and she slips up and says something about how Bart is the one who shot down the Goliath.
Yeah, this is where Faye learns that Bart shot them down.
He's disgusted.
Yeah.
Quote, disgusted. And he's not thrilled. But I get it. But also, Bart was just trying to shoot down a Kislev ship.
It's round 2 for Bart's character development arc.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's after the Ave Throne thing. This gives him something to do, something to apologize for, something to learn from through the second act of this game.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Faye overreacted here because there's no way that Bart could have known that. We do know that Bart was acting rashly and shooting down the ship, but it was a Kislev ship.
Yeah, it was their flagship.
It was heading for Ave.
Although it had some comms equipment there, and Sidon definitely knew where Sigurd was, so perhaps we could have talked. Maybe he was flying some shit out of Kislev and hoping it would fucking sink in the ocean.
Maybe he should have put the Batcon level at it too.
Yeah,
just maybe. Yeah.
Or was it Batcon or Bartcon? It was Batcon.
It's Batcon, but it should be Bartcon.
Sonar Bat, yeah.
It definitely should be Bartcon.
So the captain is very amused by all this bickering.
Yeah.
And says, it's great to be young.
It is.
And the captain also agrees they're all men of the sea and immediately wants to show Bart the beer hall.
Yeah, let's say, Bart, would you like to check out the beer? Please come check out the beer. And
I can just see Old Maison being stressed out about all of this. Like being very worried about the habits that Bart's going to pick up on this place.
I don't know if there's any specific artwork of Old Maison outside of his portrait.
Sweating buckets.
Like, are there any fan artists out there that can draw me an Old Maison?
I'm sure you can pay one.
Yeah, well.
That should just be the new avatar. Ditch Faye and put Old Maison, like, pinky thing of wine.
Old Maison sweating.
Yeah, sweating. Like dabbing himself with his handkerchief.
Yeah, so they go check out the beer, and Margie tells Faye that the boys should rescue the girls.
Yeah, he says, if you're so worried about Ellie, just go rescue her.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. Thanks, Margie.
Thanks.
That's a dumb thing to say, but do you think Faye would have done it?
Yeah.
Like, who's pulling a string there?
This was an opportunity for Faye to say, Ellie is a capable soldier. She can make it back. It's going to be fine. I trust her. But he didn't really say much.
No, which is convenient because then we go
to the Gebler airship.
Yes, there's an idling plane propulsion noise.
This scene is some shit.
It's pretty wild.
This scene establishes a couple of things, so let's talk through it here real quick. Let's work out our feelings. Dominia is slapping the shit out of Ellie.
Yeah, actual slap. Open hand slap.
Yeah.
Pretty good line. See sheer naive utterances.
Ooh, wow. I didn't write that down. Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. So
she yells at her and then pops the sword out, which is signifying this discussion is over.
Yeah, I guess
hits her with her hand, then takes the sword, and you don't animate this, but like I can picture her pointing it at her throat.
Yeah.
Being very angry and upset with Ellie's actions.
Does Dominia have any... I think the answer to this is no, but does Dominia have any indication that Ellie has a higher purpose other than just being a strong Gebler element level soldier?
I don't know. Like,
I think
she
not.
I don't know if she's seen the painting in Nisan. That seems like it's pretty under wraps from what we learned there. Like, it's not shown to a lot of people, but you think Gebler would know about all that shit anyway.
But maybe Dominia doesn't.
Yeah, maybe that's being kept.
Because Miang has to come in and stop her from taking this any further, correct?
Correct. Do you think Dominia sees this as just polite rebellion and it's a young girl not knowing her place and she's trying to, like, be bad cop before Miang can come in and be good cop?
I don't know. I'm almost getting the impression that she's ready to just take her out.
Yeah.
If she doesn't have any useful information.
So Miang shows up and just stops this beating and asks if Ellie's okay.
Yeah, and she tells Dominia that she did not have permission to initiate that attack.
That she was under Kilvena's command.
Yes.
Which interesting for the hierarchy of the elements.
It is, because I just kind of assumed, because Dominia was the first one that we were introduced to, and she was the one that was taking the initiative, that she was in charge. But apparently that is not the case.
That or this was just Kilvena's operation. Like maybe that amphibious thing was her year and her mission to direct.
Yeah, the elements may be equals after all.
So Dominia gets incensed about that and says, "How dare you?" And then crazy shit happens.
Yeah, she tries to step to Miang, like, I'm picturing that her trying to get to, like, nose to nose with Miang, being like, what you got?
A hard off.
Yeah. And I kind of... Well, first of all, I think I heard the save point
It
noise.
makes the save point noise, and the screen flashes blue.
Yeah, and Dominia says, those eyes. And...
Miang just says, let's go, and takes Ellie.
Yeah, She
psychs her out, man.
She's got some juice here.
Yeah.
And we know that Miang is a higher tier string puller than a lot of the other characters.
She's a shadow tier.
She's equal to Groff.
Yeah.
Like Groff, I think Groff, Miang, and maybe Emperor Kane are all sort of on that same tier in terms of like trying to build their own scenarios.
Trying to execute their scenarios.
Yes, exactly. And the other people that are around us right now, like Ramses, for example, these people in Faye and his whole crew, they're all oblivious to these all of these scenarios that are being built throughout this game at this point in time.
All of the Gebler scenarios are constructed in a way, the more and more I think about it, to make Ramses look like a tool.
Yeah.
Both like a tool for other people and a tool as in like just a dipshit.
And I think that we can probably cross the threshold at this point to where Ramses is the tool of Miang, not vice versa.
Right. It's presented vice versa, but in actuality. So Miang hits the menu with that, and the menu says, what was that? Those eyes.
Yeah. So it's some sort of, she's got sort of magic or spell or hypnosis or something going on here.
Some kind of just mind. It's like the Men in Black device.
Yeah.
Memory resetter.
At that point, Miang and Ellie go into a separate room and they're having a discussion. Miang is being extremely nice.
Very good cop.
Yeah.
Very, please trust me. I'm on your side. She tells her to rest and recover, and then nails Ellie with the exact same stare and the save point noise.
Yeah, the blue flash. It occurs again, and then Miang says something about crystalline blue like the surface of a lake.
Yeah.
Which, is she talking about Ellie's eyes?
I don't know.
I think she's talking about Ellie's eyes.
It has to be, right? She wasn't talking about her own eyes, but then Dominia said the exact same thing about Miang's eyes. Weird.
Dude,
It says her eyes are beautiful.
So Miang says that Ellie's eyes are beautiful, and we have just been exposed to Miang's eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I didn't have any memory of the eye move and the save point noise being used without a save point. Like, that shit was wild. For me.
Yeah.
That was a genuine surprise as something I didn't recall at any point in this game.
Is that because that you spliced that sound into this podcast a lot? Or
that sound's taken on new meaning.
Yeah.
So then Miang leaves Ellie there and then goes check in with Ramses.
I have a question before we get to this point.
Yep.
So if we were to say who's the highest tier string puller at
Groff.
this point, is it Groff or Miang?
Fuck.
Because Miang has the inside track to the Gebler military. And
but
Groff has nothing but his fucking divine fist or
He's
whatever.
the power.
He has the power. So you're going with Groff at this point?
Yeah, I'm going with power over intimidation right now. Power over influence.
This scene makes me, or the scene that we just discussed makes me think Miang is the higher tier string puller, because she seems like she's getting more of Groff than Groff is getting of her, based on the fact that when Groff phased in recently in those conversations.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I know that Miang just did some shit and she's psychological, and in any game, the person being set up as number 2 is truly number 1.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen Miang pose in front of a moon, Chris?
True. Moon poses, they get you somewhere.
That's fucking awesome.
They get you
that
points.
Shit's awesome.
They do. Yep, true. So Miang hands over the report to Ramses. I guess this is the report about the battle that just occurred, correct?
Yeah, it's the memo that someone filed somewhere.
Ramses is ready to go at this point.
The memo says it implies that it, in quotation marks, is still there.
Is that the Weltall?
I don't know.
Or the Fae?
She says that, I assume it's the Weltall, because Ramses immediately sets a course for the Tims and says they need to take out the Yggdrasil's ability to submerge.
And Miang has already made arrangements, meaning that she's already predicted what Ramses was going to do, and she's already made arrangements for this next event, I guess.
And what's going to happen, and then she says, it's my job to be hated.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Yeah.
That's a good line. It's a good line that works in a sort of for a conspiratorial sort of string pulling figure. It also is a good line for some antagonist shit. 1980s boss.
Yeah.
Are
we to imply that Ellie, this is our first Ellie and Miang scene, right? Like, they haven't interacted before this, right? Like, Miang has not talked to any of our heroes yet, right? It's just been Ramses the entire time?
They didn't express any, during the conversation between Miang and Ellie, there was no familiarity expressed, but surely if Ellie is a high-ranking member of the Gebler Special Forces, then she would know who Miang is.
Yeah.
Because she is from her perception, an accessory of Ramses, but in this case, maybe not. But yeah, this is the first time of interaction that Miang has had with any of our party members. The last time I can remember is when she saw Faye enter the Ave tournament, and she was like, "Oh, what a strapping young lad," or whatever. Yeah.
So that's all for this chapter?
A gear launches from the ship.
Oh, yeah?
I couldn't tell what gear it was, but a gear launches from the ship.
From Ramses' ship.
Yeah, from the Gebler airship, and then that chapter ends. The next chapter is called Betrayal.
Literal translation from the Xenogears study guide, The Cost of Betraying. Which that implies more like betrayal is just straight up what happens. The cost of betraying implies the weight on others as it happens.
Yeah.
The human cost, if you will.
I think once we regain control, we are Faye. And Sigurd wants us to go find Bart, I guess, to sort of try to patch things up.
Yeah, to move the plot along. But you know who I found instead?
Choo-choo?
The doctor.
Oh, the doctor. Okay.
Did you go see the doctor?
I don't think so.
Oh, man, you gotta start checking in, dude. The doctor says, why? Why is everyone going to see the doctor on the Thames while a pretty talented doctor like myself is here? Maybe I should operate on fish instead. Sob.
So the doctor of the Yggdrasil and the doctor of the Thames have a rivalry?
I guess.
Unspoken?
And like, what's some shade, dude? Maybe I should go dissect some fish like this motherfucker over here.
Wow.
Like that's what our Yggdrasil doctor implies. This doctor, who, by the way, only cures bullies and drunks.
Yeah.
Versus people who have war wounds over here, man.
God, the ranking of doctors. Wow. I still think the best doctor is still D-Block Doctor, even though she's had an incident.
I'm starting to not believe Seiden's an actual doctor. He's not. That's bullshit.
No.
It's an honorary degree he got from some bullshit mail-in religious college.
Do you remember that on the sign outside of his house it said "No dead"? Or like sick, welcome, but no dead people allowed?
I didn't see that.
I don't know if we ever talked about this podcast, but there's a sign that says
Jesus.
Sick, welcome, deceased, not allowed, or something like that.
No wells allowed.
Ooh. What?
Yeah.
No, he didn't say that.
No. So you exit the ship and something very nice is on top of the Yggdrasil.
Well, hold on a minute.
Did you pal around the Yggdrasil for a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you go see?
Choo Choo's no longer changing clothes.
Really?
Yeah.
You went and talked to Choo Choo?
Yeah, but Choo Choo does not have new dialogue.
Not new dialogue or no dialogue?
No new dialogue. She still thinks there's a festival going on outside. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was going on a long time ago.
She hasn't left the ship.
Yeah.
Maybe like time passes differently for that race. Like she's secretly 1,000 years old or some shit, and like
I don't know.
blink of an eye is a year.
I don't know. But yes, outside of the Yggdrasil,
on top of it,
it's our man, Big Joe.
Big Joe!
We apparently have interrupted his amore time, and maybe we need some manners, muchacho.
Yeah, he calls this lady mi amor. He's definitely fucking this lady.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question. When did Big Joe start speaking Spanish? Because when we met him in Dazzle, he had none of these muchacho lines or mi amor or anything like that.
He discovered sex apparently sometime after that, which is where some masculinity has come in there.
It's just, it feels like when they were writing Big Joe's dialogue, they didn't decide to give him this dialect until like 2 or 3 scenes. I don't even think he had any of these dialect in any of the Spanish terms in the first conversation with in Nortune. Not until afterwards was when he first said muchacho.
Yeah.
Muchacho.
Maybe afterward, maybe they'll just drop it as quickly.
It's weird.
So you can play Big Joe in speed, but first I want to make an egregious oversight and correction.
Okay.
We never talked about Queenie.
No, we didn't talk about
Queenie. On the armor
Queenie.
ground of the Thames.
I cannot beat Queenie in this game. Eric's raising his arms.
I beat Queenie.
Oh, you did? Congrats.
So you can't fight Queenie in speed until you beat the kid on the supply deck and the person in the beer hall. Then you can fight Queenie.
And you can probably still do it at this point too, right?
She is yeah. I assume if you go back up there, sure, why not? She is extremely fast. I think I beat her on my 4th time.
Wow. Did you pause the game?
Yeah, I would. I'll say what I really didn't mention is if you're both out of options, it'll take your back card and put them right on the 2 piles. And I would pause it as soon as I saw what those cards were and then look at my cards and then rush over to it. She would still beat me a lot of the time, but eventually I got Queenie. I guess I had a lucky roll. And if you beat her, you get a Death Blower 1.
A Death Blower 1? What does that do?
It is a limited, there are only so many in the game. They are items you attach to your gears to give them unique death blows.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
This gave me an extra triangle death blow. There's also Death Blower 2, Death Blower 3 for your triangle, square, and X attacks.
That's neat.
I had to get that.
If I didn't get it at this point, have I lost it forever?
There are more in this game, but I think there's a finite amount.
Oh, wow.
But it's just level 1, so, you know.
So, I did beat Big Joe.
Yeah, Big Joe sucks.
Yeah. I got the long, dark coat.
Gives plus 10 to attack, plus 10 to ether defense.
Not bad.
If you lose to him, he says, ha ha ha, how easy it is to beat you, amigo. Go away. But you can still fight him again. I don't know what he says if you beat him. Did you get that dialogue?
No, I didn't get it, but if he does run away.
Yeah. He does his Big Joe scamper, too. He moves pretty quickly, and he takes his lady friend with him.
Yeah. So then, anything else before we progress?
No, I went to go dig up Bart.
Bart and the captain are having some, beer...
Yeah, they're in the beer hall.
Telling stories.
Swashbuckling war stories.
Yeah. Bart says something about checking out his arm.
Yeah, he says his arms are proof of men of the sea, and then Bart has a chuckle animation that I've seen for the first time.
Does he have tats or something, or does it
I'm going to assume he has tats.
Muscles?
But pirates and scurvy sailors all have weird tats, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Bart definitely has a tattoo he tried to do himself and then got somebody else to cover up.
Yeah.
And it definitely, he probably... My headcanon is Bart asked for like a pretty lady tattoo, and then the person who did it just put Margie there for some reason. So he's got a Margie tattoo.
Yeah.
Which seems very upsetting.
I'm upset about a lot of things about Bart and Margie, but yeah. So...
It's like, she's my cousin, but she was real pretty.
Hans calls for the captain to the bridge.
Yeah.
And the captain calls Hans an unrefined chap, which...
He must be sober at this moment,
sure.
right? Yeah.
I mean, is it... Maybe Hans is the only sober person on the ship.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Like, since he's a penguin person, he can't process alcohol or some shit.
Yeah, we need to check on the alcohol processing abilities of penguins and or dolphins. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess the captain says, Our Lady seems to have returned. And lady is capitalized, and it says Our Lady, like it's like Our Lady of Lourdes, like it's Our Lady, the Holy Mother.
The lady, yeah,
right?
The
lady, and I'm like, oh, okay, is that something here?
Whoa, Captain. No, I mean, that could be you could read into that, but I think he just means Ellie.
Yeah, I think he does.
She's back.
She's back.
She came back. Boomerang. She's back.
She seems a little off.
Yeah.
Bart, of course, he doesn't trust her, and that's because he was raised by thugs and charlatans.
And he says you can't be involved with people who have attachments.
Yeah. I say the same thing about emails over 150 megabytes. I can't involve you.
Oh, man.
Stop sending me that shit. Host it somewhere.
But
this company has infinite cloud storage.
Learn what a drive is, man.
Yeah.
Get in the cloud.
I love the thugs and charlatans line, by the way.
Charlatan is somebody who tries to scam people with nefarious operations.
Yeah, it's weird.
My immediate thought when Ellie just showed back up is, oh, fuck, they followed her here.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely a they followed her here situation. We've already seen what's played out with Miang and Ellie, so we know that Ellie is probably going to be up to no good. At that point, we get free roaming ability. Ellie goes to take a nap.
Yeah, she says she doesn't feel well, and then I think she goes back to the Yggdrasil to sleep. So then we go back to the Yggdrasil as well.
Did you do anything else?
No, I went right back. I kind of needed to be done playing, so I wanted to wrap this stuff up.
Same here. If you go to the gun room, Old Mason's room, and talk to a couple guys that are sitting there at the table.
Oh, really? He actually has guests this time.
Yeah, and they're actually your only hint to go downstairs and check out the engine room.
Not necessarily.
Oh,
did you go talk to the doctor?
Apparently, I need to be talking to the doctor a lot more.
The doctor said that Ellie checked in there and then went to go to the engine room. She was fine or something like that.
So I guess they had that laid out in a couple of different areas to where
because why else would you go to the engine room? I don't think
it's actually hard to find.
Yeah, it's at the very bottom of the gun room, kind of near Rico and Hammer's room.
Rico and Hammer's room?
Yeah, dude.
So
you guys stay in the basement. You're not going to... Like Margie and even Choo Choo get a front floor room. These guys, they just live in the basement.
Yeah. So when we get to the engine room, there's a dog barking at Ellie.
Martle.
Sure.
So did you get the animals can sense evil trope here?
No, but yeah, I see it now.
Yeah. Ellie tells a worker that the first mate needs to see them, which is the second time we've seen the, oh, hey, someone over there needs you trick after Rico fooled some hapless guards in Norchun.
Yeah. After Ellie gets rid of the engine room attendant, she starts messing shit up.
Yeah, she presses a bunch of buttons.
Oh, so this is why this chapter is called Betrayal.
She's the one who's the betrayer.
Oh, okay. And then Bart and Faye barge in. And
Well, yeah, it'd be like pistons start overheating, something blows up, Ellie screams, then passes out next to the controls.
Yeah, lots of shit's going crazy. There's a lot of particle effects going on in this room.
Yeah, it zooms out.
A couple of those, like, I don't know what you would call them, but those, like...
Pistons.
Pistons, thank you. Shout out Detroit Pistons. Anyway, the Pistons start going crazy. A bunch of red energy starts spouting out of them.
It's a big zoom out point. It's like it'd be a big set piece thing in any other game.
Yeah, and things are blowing up, basically.
It's bad for a ship that may be levitating or floating or anything.
And Bart says, this mole's a mole.
M-O-L-L to M-O-L-E?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It can mean one of two things.
Okay.
It used to be used as a sort of a term for a female gangster, but it was
Really?
also used...
Did you know that?
No, I looked it up.
Okay.
It is also used for a term for a prostitute.
Ooh.
So,
Ugh. I was... Ugh.
yeah, so given that Bart probably has like a propensity to like hang out in the comment sections of like barstoolsports.com.
Bart Stool Sports.
Fuck. No. No, Bart. No. No. My sweet boy.
I broke Chris.
My sweet boy, Bart. Don't go to that website.
Chris's face is red right now for some
Dave
reason.
Portnoy sucks. He does.
Yeah, I agree. Barstool's a blight upon sports.
He even offended the local establishment of our friend who helps run that joint.
Jesus, I didn't know that.
Oh, we'll talk about that later. We like Mark Shepard. We don't like
Oh, that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Dave Portnoy. Don't cut this out. So, anyway, Bart, you shouldn't have said it.
He says the mole's a mole.
Yeah.
Everyone just kind of pretty casually walks into this disastrous situation. Like, there's no reanimation. I think Citan rolls up.
Yeah, he comes in.
He pushes two buttons and fixes everything.
Yeah, but did you notice he goes into his foot tapping animation for a minute?
Like he's just annoyed.
Yeah, he's annoyed and he's like, I'm going to figure this shit out eventually. It's fine. I mean, he did figure out how to fly the Goliath in like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
So
Citan says she was given some strong hypnosis. Chris, tell me all you know about hypno-programming.
I know very little, but given what we just saw transpire between Miang and Ilium, maybe she did this.
Yeah. Hypno-programming is, I learned about it from reading or listening to a podcast on the Robert F. Kennedy assassination.
Oh,
where
shit.
the leading conspiracy theory is that Saran was hypno-programmed and then forgot everything afterward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Citan seemed like he knew what was going on, but he didn't want to destroy her mind
Yes.
by breaking the pre-programmed whatever.
Yeah. Like, Citan didn't want to intervene because she had to fulfill her mission or else she would be a vegetable, which my response to that was, okay, dude.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Sure, buddy.
Sure.
You
Whatever
just
you
go-
say.
Yeah, whatever you say. That
Man who's honest all the time.
Are we at the point with Citan where we're just like, yeah, bud.
I
whatever.
write off. You can't measure my distaste for this man.
Yeah.
At this point, like I want to kill him and then never call him back to my squad, like I did with Cat Shi,
Sure, God.
Cat Sith,
Yeah.
Kate Shi.
That was some shit. Somehow, Citan at this point can tell there are no mental scars.
Yeah, he's already observed the damage isn't long term. She was just dispatched for this mission, and I bet some evil people are on the way because they also definitely followed her here.
Definitely. Also, if we can't tell that some shit's about to go down, when you go to the save point and you save it and you look at your save file, it says the next chapter, Ramses's attack.
I wonder who's going to attack.
Wonder who? But that's another story because we're done with our podcast for today. So thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Chris.
For joining me. Thank you for the white claw. I've got to start taking my wedding ring off because I keep making banging noises with it whenever my hand hits the thing. Thanks to our listeners.
Men of the sea aren't married.
True. Is that part of the code?
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks to our listeners. Follow us on Twitter, Retro Amnesia Pod. Send us an email, retrogradamnesiapodcast@gmail.com. Thank you to Mark Shepard for the intro track. You are a true man of the sea. And check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/retroam. Unlock special benefits such as early access, bonus episodes, or podcasts of my kids talking about Smash Brothers. Until next time.
Yes, we will kill God.
And now, you may go back to sleep. Because I really want that evolved Farfetch'd. Okay. Friends again. And, oh shit. Notice me, senpai. Dave Portnoy sucks. Hey, Eric, do you know people who enjoy this podcast can support us? Yes or no? Say something and I'll see what I come up with.
And now the Retrograde Amnesia Theatre presents an unedited interview with Chris's twin 4-year-olds about Super Smash Brothers.
Hey, what's your name?
Griffin.
Oh, what's your name?
Avery.
Oh, what's your favorite video game, Griffin?
Smash Brothers.
Oh, that's a good one. What about you? Can't think of anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Tired of you waiting. Kirby.
Kirby? Which Kirby game?
That one you fight bad guys.
The one you fight bad guys?
Yes.
Oh, Kirby Super Clash?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. What character do you like to be in that one?
Oh, it's my turn. Is it my turn? Yeah, it's my turn.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said, what Kirby character do you like to be on Kirby Super Clash?
I don't like Kirby.
Yeah, you do. You liked Kirby last time we played it.
I want Smash Brothers.
Oh, you may ask you about Smash Brothers?
Yes.
Okay, who's your favorite Smash Brothers character?
I'm Ridley.
Ridley?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's a dragon.
He is?
Yes.
I thought he was a space pirate.
No.
Hey, don't spin that chair around, buddy. Thank you.
What now? What now are you going to say?
Okay, I want to talk to Avery about Smash Brothers. Avery, who's your favorite Smash Brothers character? Oh, don't bump into that.
I like Incineroar.
Incineroar? Why do you like Incineroar?
Because he's a fire type on Pokemon.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, what else do you like about Incineroar?
Because he starts with Litten, and then he goes to Torcat, and then Incineroar.
Oh, okay, that's a pretty good reason for it. Okay, Griffin, what other Smash Brothers character do you like?
I actually like Sonic.
You do?
Sonic.
Why do you like Sonic in Smash Brothers?
Because he can, flip him back,
Oh, yeah?
and he can go fast, and he can turn into Super Sonic.
Oh, that's a good reason. Okay, let me talk to Avery again. Avery? Okay, I want you to stop touching that chair, please, because it's making too many squeaky noises, okay? The microphone will hear it. What is your... What other characters do you really like in Smash Brothers?
Oh, I like Pac-Man.
You do? Why?
Because you're going to eat people.
We can't hear you unless you go stand in front of the microphone.
Because you eat people.
Oh, because you eats people?
No, he eats ghosts. He doesn't eat people.
In Smash Brothers, you can eat people. With his super move.
Yeah.
Guys, you got to go stand over there in front of the microphone, or I'm not going to be able to hear you.
My turn.
No, you stand next to each other.
No, I can do it.
You don't have to lean up on it, dude. Just stand there, okay? Yeah, you're totally fine right there. Okay, what other characters do you like, Griffin?
I like too much harder ones. I like Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, we just talked about Pac-Man. Pick a different one.
No, I like Pac-Man.
Okay, why do you like Pac-Man?
Because he eats ghosts.
Oh, okay.
And people.
Okay, Avery?
No, he doesn't eat people. And Pac-Man games?
Okay, Avery, tell me about a Smash Bros. Character you like.
It's my turn. As it Alex. I like Smash Bros. All of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Which one's one of your other favorites? Who'd we use yesterday? I forgot already.
All of the ones we used. We used
You gotta stand in front of them.
Pac-Man. No, I'll tell. We used Pac-Man. I only used... Who else? I don't remember. And we used Samus.
Oh?
You put them on. And and Pokemon Trainer.
Oh, and Pokemon Trainer. Okay, Avery, go over there. Avery, you tell me which 3 Pokemon the Pokemon Trainer has.
Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charizard.
Cool.
No, they don't have Bulbasaur. Yeah, they do. No. Pokemon Trainer has the Ivysaur. Yeah, Bulbasaur. Who doesn't? See, I want to pick them when we're Smash Brothers. No, I'll pick them. I'll pick Pokemon Trainer. No. You picked Samus. No, I did not pick Samus. I picked Pac-Man. No, Dad picked Pac-Man. No, I picked Pac-Man. No, Dad did. No, I did. Daddy did. I did. Daddy did. I did. Daddy did.
Okay, let's not argue.
I did.
It doesn't matter.
Can we do that? Can we repeat it?
Mission complete!